The one thing he's going to show you with the script from National Geographic was done in Soundtrack Pro, which was really the first project we did using that. It's a really sweet program. It allows you to bring in video and then match the audio with that video. So, but it's mainly an audio program, but it allows you to bring in video. So,
actually, yeah, I'll go ahead and show you guys that one first. So these are basically for the National Geographic shows. They sent us those scripts, and then also they had the video edited already with some audio, everything basically except for the voiceover. And so they sent us the edited versions with the time code, and then basically told us with the script where they wanted us to insert the voiceover that we had recorded. So basically, we got this.
In today's fast-paced, crushed world,
It's easy to get run down and burned out.
so it's important to box loose every now and again. Come on.
So you can see time code up
Go
here.
somewhere different. Recharge the batteries.
And reconnect with.
And that's Dominic. That's who we had. He's a local guy, so he, you know, instead of him going to Singapore, which is where they're editing this stuff, obviously he came to us. And then all we did was matched up.
The Lishan Buddha overlooks the mighty Yangtze River, and there are plenty of boats willing to take travelers for the best views of this 8th century icon.
It's not matched up anymore as far as sequence and timing, but that gives you a good idea of what we did. And we did that for 3 different episodes, so that's that one. This is the political ad that we did, and the whole point of this was to make this guy look as creepy as possible.
Yeah.
And they only had access basically to one photograph, which was a really terrible photograph that they like scanned out of a newspaper, basically. So
this is the Antonori guy.
yeah. So this, so this is the script, you know, for this spot.
The ugly truth about Frank Antonori is that he sold out southern Arizona to line the pockets of the Phoenix Batcats. Antonori slashed $1.2 billion
so, you know, dark music,
worked to kill solar energy jobs,
sounding
and
music.
supports increased property taxes for seniors.
Hi, I'm Todd Kamanish.
And then make him
I'm an
look
independent
like, you know,
running on the Democratic ticket to protect our state from extreme views of my opponent. I'm going to fight for our southern Arizona values up in Phoenix.
Vote Todd Kamanish for 6 seconds.
I'm Todd Kamanish, and I approve this message.
Extremely low budget right here. Shoot. Yeah, we went to somebody's house. I don't think it was his house. It was like one of the campaign managers or something. Yeah, and then this was actually, this stuff in the back was actually shot at a previous shoot for some other spots that we created for him. So it was like, we just got this little 15 seconds done, or this even 10 seconds.
Hi, I'm Todd Kamanish. I'm an independent running on the Democratic ticket to protect our state from extreme views of my opponent.
This is the very large script, extremely detailed one that told me where we wanted graphics and everything. And I won't
On July of 2009, work on rehabilitating a troubled site of what would transform into Glenstone Village began. Today, the end result is an architectural and construction marvel of urban neighborhood improvement. But the real story is how this accomplishment adds to the quality of lives and the neighborhood. This is the brief story of the planning, construction, and completion of a change come true, as told by its many stakeholders. Compass Affordable Housing Incorporated presents Glenstone Village, rebuilding a community of lives.
So basically, this place,
is a program.
it's actually community housing, which is, they just rebuilt this place and they wanted it to make it look as nice and new.
Thanks.
So most of this, this video is created for their shareholders and stakeholders, so most of it's just talking heads. One thing we own is let's see if I can get to it. We own a 32-foot crane, which some of these shots came from.
Where do you keep that?
Half of it in the truck. It's all in pieces right now, but you see some shots from that. Some of it's in our truck, some of it's in the back there. But it's a lot to put together.
Do you work it? Is it like you crank it, or is
No,
it?
here,
Well,
actually, I can show you real quick. I've got a video right here of some of it. Now that you're asking,
The actual
it's actually all.
I really love crane shots.
Yeah, the crane shots are.
So there's some views of it here. So this is actually just parts of it. If you guys can all see that, that's the end of it, the head of it that the camera goes on. And you can see, basically, I've got a little joystick at the end that I control everything with. So the pan, the tilt, and everything, and it goes 360 degrees each direction. So it's a pretty cool tool. There's kind of a view from where we control it from. It's all based on a counterweight system, so you put more weights on the end. There's a decent shot of that end of it. So there's where your monitor is, your controls. It's counterbalanced so that basically if I were to let it go, it would just balance on its pivot point there. So it's a really, really cool piece of machinery. We try to get use out of it as much as possible. Very hard to do when we work with a lot of low-budget things, but what we've been doing lately is just either donating it to get use out of it, plus it's practice for us to use the thing. So, you know, that's that. Actually, there's a good kind of shot of the front of it. So, and it's really amazing what a production tool like that can do, just to increase the value of what you're doing. There's kind of a, and that's only about, I think that's about, what, 15 feet, and it probably goes another 10 or 15.
Yeah.
So this thing can really get pretty large.
what did they want you to do with this?
No, it's a good question.
You can show them that. We have that up too.
Oh yeah, sorry, let me get that one.
I mean, you're looking at NaOCl plus H2O, Na plus.
So, okay, that's what we got. We'll show you some of those here.
So it's done in what?
No voiceover at all with this thing. So they basically wanted us to recreate that PowerPoint in video because it was going to be viewed all over the world on an international website. So it had to be very step-by-step visually because there's people who don't speak English.
Right.
And actually what we ended up doing with this video is we created 16 different language versions because they were really happy with this product.
Do you choose the music?
Yes and no. I mean, we'll give our suggestions, and sometimes they'll say, that sounds terrible, change it. But yeah, I think this one was, just the stock music selection that we had.
How long has this been?
This is about 3.5, 4 minutes, I guess.
Where did you?
We shot this on in one of their labs at Ten Medical. So basically, they provided us with the person who was knowledgeable with the product and what they wanted to show, and we kind of just said, "Go do your thing." Each time they kind of went through a step, we'd have them do it again, and maybe even a third, fourth time, so we could get a different angled shot, that kind of thing, because it was only a one-camera shoot. So.
How long did that take?
The shoot was actually, they had booked us for 4 hours, but I think we were only there for 2. And that happens quite often, especially with kind of these smaller scale shoots, where it was basically just me and a couple lights, and that was it.
One of the things that you guys will realize is that you end up using like 3% of like what you actually shoot. You know, like I said, we shot 9 hours and got 7 minutes out of it. You know, we shot for 2 hours and got 3 minutes out of it. You know, it's like.
Yeah, but you definitely want to make sure. You know, we usually will schedule 4 hours just in case. Even though I know it'll only take an hour or 2 to shoot, just because when it comes to these things happen. Whether it's your lighting goes out or a camera dies on you or something like that. You know, you always want to be prepared for anything that can happen.
And as far as the scripting world goes, you know, Serena, you'd have to answer this, but I mean, how often would you have footage before the script? I mean, is that 30% of the time? Is that 10%? You know?
Yeah, I would say it's about 30, and especially with commercials, because what happens is you end up, I mean, it's like Tucson Appliance. You write the script first, and then you end up going in and shooting what it is that you've scripted. Whereas, for example, with the political campaigns, you've already got a bunch of footage of a guy walking, you've got footage of a room of people talking, and in low-budget situations, you usually can just pick from that stuff instead of just sending somebody out to shoot what it is that you script. So it ends up more often than not when you're doing a commercial, you're actually thinking about those visuals in your head prior to going out and shooting them.
Yeah, and especially with the political ads,